The city lights flickered against the early morning haze, casting a golden glow over the quiet streets. Marcus pulled his jacket tighter around him, shielding himself from the damp air rolling in from the bay. The ocean breeze carried a biting chill, and every gust felt like a reminder of how little he had left. In his pocket, his fingers curled around his last $10 bill. It wasn't much, barely enough for a meal, but it was all he had until payday. He exhaled, watching his breath form clouds in the cold air as he trudged toward the bus stop. The weight of overdue bills and unanswered calls sat heavy on his shoulders, but for now, survival was his only priority. As he approached the corner, he spotted someone sitting on the curb near an old vending machine. A woman, wrapped in layers of mismatched clothing, her hair tangled from the wind. She hugged herself tightly, her fingers barely peeking from the sleeves of an oversized sweater. Her head was bowed, but when she sensed his presence, she looked up, her eyes tired, yet filled with a silent plea. Pedestrians passed without a glance, their hurried steps echoing against the pavement. But Marcus hesitated. Maybe it was the way her shoulders hunched as if trying to disappear, or the quiet resignation in her gaze. Maybe it was something deeper, something unspoken, that connected them in that moment. He swallowed, looking down at the crumpled bill in his palm. It wasn't much, but to her, it might be everything. Without a word, he stepped forward and crouched down, meeting her eyes. "Here," he said, offering the money. "I know it's not a lot, but maybe it can help." For a moment, she didn't move. Then, her lips parted in shock, her eyes shimmering as she reached out with trembling hands. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice barely audible over the distant hum of the city. Marcus nodded and stood up, shoving his hands into his pockets. He didn't need to stay, didn't need to hear her story. He simply turned and walked away, feeling lighter somehow, as if he had let go of something more than just a few dollars. The next morning, as he waited for the bus again, he noticed her across the street. But something had changed. She was standing, her posture straighter, her face no longer hidden beneath layers of fabric. She clutched a small paper bag, and in her other hand, a note carefully wrapped in plastic. When she saw him, she stepped forward. "I found a place," she said, her voice steadier than before. "And a job. Someone finally gave me a chance. I wanted to say, what you did, it mattered." Marcus felt his throat tight. It wasn't the money that had made the difference, was the act of kindness. The reminder that even in the darkest moments, someone still saw her. That $10 bill had been nothing more than a scrap of paper, but to her, it had been a spark, a reason to keep going. As Marcus boarded the bus, he looked out the window, watching her walk away with purpose. And for the first time in a long while, he felt something stronger than worry, stronger than doubt, hope. Because in the end, it wasn't about how much you had. It was about what you chose to give.